Hey folks, Dan Bird here for the 27th of August midday update for the Daily Scan. As always, I am not a financial advisor, so this is for educational purposes only. There's an NVIDIA going across the ticker up here. It's actually down slightly. Tonight's the night. So now we're going to see what their earnings look like and how it's going to affect the rest of the market. You can see a lot of these Magnificent Seven stocks up here are down so far today. There's Tesla and AMD, Netflix down $10, Oracle's up slightly, SMCI flat basically. So that's what it looks like. Let's take a look at the market. Right now it is 12:40 in the afternoon on the 27th. That's Eastern time. So the market's been open for a little over 3 hours. Let's look at the 10-minute charts and just see what it's doing real quick. Nice run higher that carried forward. So follow through from yesterday went up. Now it's kind of rolling over, but not significantly, just a little bit. Still above the open of the day right there. And Monday's open right there. So it's above that too. Money flow starting to head lower. And the aggressive sectors, technology, pretty much flat. Financials flat. Discretionary down a little bit today, but not significantly. Basically just coming down to where it was yesterday. Communications is the big loser, though. Communication services heading down. This is where Google and Netflix are. We'll take a look at those in a minute. Industrials pretty much flat. The defensive sectors, money flow, obviously still down. Healthcare has been down lately, kind of flat today. Staples has been down. Energy made a little bit of a comeback, but flat. Utilities is down again, and materials is pretty much flat. So nothing, not really telling us much there other than it looks like the aggressive is slightly better than the defensive, but not by much. Rotation, growth versus value, pretty much flat. Discretionary technology flat. Semiconductors is up a little bit. That's to be expected with NVIDIA reporting, and internet, as I showed before, is down a little bit. And if we look at the Russell 2000 small and mid cap, this is the area that really has been getting most of the action. Had a nice run higher in the morning, then went kind of sideways and pretty much sideways right now as well. Money flow started coming down, but now bouncing, going back up. And large, mid, and small cap, growth versus value. The large cap is basically, these are all pretty much flat for the day. So not doing too much. The whole market, I think, is just waiting for NVIDIA tonight. Here's the NASDAQ 100 with the pivot points. So these are standard pivot points. And you can see that was the first resistance right there. The up volume versus down volume, not really doing much, actually heading down. Advancers versus decliners is heading down. So again, the market is just basically treading water, waiting for NVIDIA. This is going to change significantly one way or the other when NVIDIA reports. So we'll look at that tomorrow. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to put the Fibonacci pivot points on here just to see what those look like. So these have three of them. So you can see this is the 32% level right there, 68% level right up here, and then 100% up here. So basically it's sitting right around this 31% and bouncing down from it, sitting right on the pivot point right now. So interesting. We'll see what happens tonight. That'll be the key on the dashboard. Dow, of course, is up. These are all up slightly. NASDAQ down a little bit from the open. S&P is up a little bit from the open. 10-year is basically flat right now. You can see the 10-year went up at first, but now it's basically coming down, and it is in a pretty sideways move. This is the weekly chart down here. It's pretty much sideways. So let's take a look at commodities. Gold up slightly. Silver is flat. Oil is up for sure. And then the dollar. Dollar is started off higher, pulling back now. That would probably look like a shooting star candle. And Bitcoin is up slightly, just very slightly from the open. Not much going on there with Bitcoin right now. So it's just kind of hanging out. It's below its moving average lines on the daily chart and below zero. So it's in a confirmed downtrend on the daily chart. Still on an uptrend on the weekly though. So just coming back to the 21 moving average on the weekly, that's a healthy point right there to take a position. So we'll see how that does. One thing I want to show you on the dollar, because I've heard, lots of talk and conversations and articles and clickbait about the dollar crashing. And that means that the market is trying to tell us something, that it's getting ready to have a 1929 type crash. Well, let's take a step back. As I always say, when in doubt, zoom out. So let's look at the US dollar on over 34 years. So this goes all the way back to 1986. And as you can see, in a 34-year cycle, the dollar is almost dead right at the midpoint. It's actually a little higher than the midpoint. So the dollar's not crashing. It's got a long way to go to actually get down to the 2008 lows down here. And even the typical lows down here in the 90s, which was a secular bull market in the 90s back here, the dollar got all the way down here to 80. Right now it's at 90, 98. So dollar's at 98. It made it all the way down to 80 back here in the 90s. And in the 2000s, of course, it was down below 80. So no, it's not crashing. It's pretty much normal. It's right where it's been the midpoint of the last 35 years. So put things in perspective when you start hearing those articles and reading those articles and from people that sound like they know what they're talking about, especially if they're suggesting that the market's getting ready to crash. That probably means that they're short and their shorts are underwater. So they want to get their money back. So they want you to start selling. But right now, there's no signs of that. So everything right now is pretty healthy. Overall, the market's still bullish, still going up. If we look at the market timing, market bias chart, you can see in the S&P right here, I actually put in the Fibonacci pivot points, and you can see it's right at the 31, or actually the 68. It's right at the 68 level right now. Hit it twice. That's a double top potentially. So we'll see where it goes from here, but NVIDIA, I think, is going to be the key. And we still have the bearish divergence on all of these right now. If we look at NASDAQ 100, also put those pivot points on here, went right to the 68, came back down to the main pivot, and then went to the 32, which is where it is right now. So it never made it back to the highest back here. And it also has a negative divergence. So NVIDIA, Bitcoin. Now this one, it actually got up here to the 38, a little bit above it, got rejected, came all the way back to the pivot, and now it got down here to the support level. This is the 38 support for the Fibonacci's on the other side. And we have a higher low, might be getting ready to put in another higher low, but we also have a lower low and another lower low. So two of those higher highs. So that is the definition of a downtrend. It is sitting right in the cloud, so it's neutral, but all of the momentum is heading lower. If we put a channel line around this, make it blue and dashed, put a channel line like that, then duplicate that channel line, move it to here. You can see pretty much what the channel looks like. So it may make it back up here to the pivot point, and then possibly if it's going to follow this channel down, it'll get back down here in between the two Fibonacci levels down here. So I'll leave that on the chart so you can look at it anytime you'd like. That's what it looks like for right now. Russell 2000. It actually is broken out of all of its Fibonacci levels. So it is the healthiest looking index right now. Doing really well, continuing to head higher. If we get rate cuts in September, this is going to probably really rip higher. Already it's ripping higher. So we'll see if there's a pullback. Look at this perfect pullback to the 21 right there, 21 right there. So that was a point to get in. Can wait again for the 21, which will be right at the second resistance level, 68%. Fibonacci level, and the 21 for that matter. They're both pretty much at the same place. So again, we'll see what happens. Notice the volume declining with the last couple of days. So maybe it's running out of steam. We shall see. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Oh, one person asked me to check on something, so I will take a look at ELV. ELV is rolling over. Let's move this back a little bit. So on this is you see the dashed green line. That's the trailing stop level that I talked about yesterday on Technical Tuesday. Still well above it and above the 2021. So not anything too concerning yet. If we look at it back here, this is definitely a downtrend. This hit the 200 and got rejected, hit the 50, rejected, hit it again, rejected, didn't quite get to the 50, got rejected again. So this might head down. This could be the low down here, but it does not look very healthy. So, and the momentum is just trying to get above zero, but not quite. Looks like it's starting to roll over. So keep an eye on that 21. If that is not support, if it takes it out, then likely it's going to head much lower. Let's put a triangle on here, and right here you can see the support, the open gap right here. So there's an open gap right there. So it needs to hold right there at the top of that gap. If it can't hold the top of that gap, there you can see it again. If it can't hold, which is basically the top is right there at the 21. If it can't hold that, then it is likely definitely going back here to 275, which looks like pretty solid support, but may actually end up going much lower than that, especially if it takes out the chandelier exit right here at 290. So keep an eye on it. I don't know what your position is on this particular one, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't look great. It's basically heading lower. It's in the healthcare providers, healthcare group. So watch out. One more thing, I did get let's see. Let me close this. This short squeeze scan. Let's see here. Short squeeze right here. This short squeeze came in. I actually sent an email out to subscribers letting you know about it. Sent the email on this black candle right here. Had a nice run up the next day of about 1.6% today. So it's been steadily moving higher, but that is definitely a short squeeze that happened a couple of days ago. I thought there was another one that happened. Here we go. There, this one. Here's another short squeeze. Interestingly, Cracker Barrel. That's been in the news lately. Cracker Barrel now has a short squeeze. So just now today got above the 21 and the 50. Sitting right there. Shorts are going to feel pain. The first place they'll feel pain is the first resistance level, which is right here, which is exactly where it is right now. So that's right there. Definitely shorts will likely cover above that level. And then they will probably start covering again above this level up here. So keep that in mind. So that's an interesting short squeeze. Cracker Barrel, which has had a terrible time lately. I think they just announced they're not going to change their logo. So changing the logo sent it down, and then saying they're not going to change the logo, sent it back up again. So that's where it is, but it is on the short squeeze scan. What that means is more than 20% of its float is short. It has more than 125% in volume, and the last 5 days have been positive. So that's why this one didn't really get one. It probably should have. It could have had one. But you always can watch the short squeeze stocks because I post them every week on the chart list and scans page. And it changes every week because as short squeezes happen, they fall out of the list. So you can see there were 61 the week before, 58 last week. It's a CSV file. You can just download it into your own platform to see what stocks are on that short squeeze list. I'm going to look for a Cracker Barrel. I'm just curious about how much of that float is short. So I have a chart list in stock charts. Where is it? Right there. Let's see. Cracker Barrel right here. 24.5% is short. 24.5% of the float on Cracker Barrel is short. So that is the short squeeze for the day. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Watch NVIDIA tonight, and I'll report on it tomorrow to see what the reaction is. Right now, it is just about 1 p.m. Eastern time. And there's what the S&P looks like. If I look at it on a daily chart, right there. So that's what it looks like so far. Nice run up in the morning, pull back right to the 21, and now it's starting to move higher. Actually, I think that's a 13. Nope, it's 21 and 50. So now it's bouncing off of that. So it looks like they're expecting positive news. Accumulation distribution is very, very positive. So this all looks really bullish. This is a key breakout level where it is right now. So if it breaks through that, if it breaks through 6,500, especially with NVIDIA news, then it's probably off to the races and we're going to head much higher. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will check you out later.